Hello all my alloys out there, I'm Fixing Alloy 1 here. Welcome to today's vlog. We're going to talk about E3. Wow, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to E3 this year, but it has just fucking blown my mind. It was amazing, it was incredible. I've never had so much fun watching E3. Never got to go to E3 myself, but for the past few years I have watched E3 and tried to keep up with it. This year blew me away. This was awesome. One of my favorite years, E3. Lots to cover by you guys. They had a lot of new announcements, a lot of exciting stuff. Obviously, we're not going to have time to go over everything, so I figured, I've done my homework. I've got like fucking pages of shit to go over. But we're not going to go over everything. We're going to go over the cool stuff. The stuff that really blew me away. Now, just a heads up, guys, I didn't watch any Nintendo shit just because I don't play Nintendo anymore. I love fucking Mario, but I don't have a Nintendo. I don't play Nintendo. Didn't really seem like much of a, although the new Legend of Zelda looked like fucking badass, I would play that, but I'm not gonna go buy a Nintendo just to play the Legend of Zelda. When they started doing those little motion stick things, I lost interest. I'd rather have a fucking, I'd rather have a keyboard and mouse now, but anyway. So, but Ubisoft, Bethesda, Microsoft, PlayStation, of course. PlayStation is always the heavy hitter at E3. PlayStation, they know we gotta bring out our best for E3. So once again, they won the show, but everybody has something beautiful. Of course, now Ubisoft, we know that they got, Watch Dogs 2 coming out, which looked good. It did look good. I enjoyed watching the demo and then play it and everything. It was awesome looking. But so was the original Watch Dogs. So I really want the Watch Dogs 2 to do good. But Watch Dogs, the first one, we all know, it was a lot of hype for just an okay game. It wasn't a bad game, but the AI was shit. The character was a little whiny bitch. You couldn't really relate to the story at all. So that's the one thing I didn't like about the first Watch Dogs. The second Watch Dogs looks like they did a lot better. It looks like they got, the story right. And then not to mention it's in San Francisco. That just seems like the place where you'd be with your cell phone hacking and everybody's shit. Chicago was cool and all, but San Francisco is where it's all at when it comes to technology and shit. So Watch Dogs 2, I was pretty excited about that. But what really blew my mind away at Ubisoft wasn't Watch Dogs 2, wasn't the Assassin's Creed movie, it wasn't the fucking VR shit, even though that's cool. It was South Park, The Fractured Butthole. Oh my god. If you have not seen the E3 footage for The Fractured Butthole, that's what you need to look at. And it's South Park, so their whole goal at this time is superheroes. And, of course, they're trying to make $1 billion making a superhero movie franchise. So they're arguing in the basement about who's going to have what movie first, who's going to be a Phase 1, who's going to be Phase 2. Kenny's pissed because all he gets is a Netflix series, and he gets to be in the final movie of Phase 3. And they're really, ripping into Marvel really good. And then they all start getting mad, talking about, well, when we go make our own movies? And Harper's like, oh, you want Civil War? I'll do Civil War. They're like, fuck you, DC Comics. So, excuse me, guys. So definitely going to be looking out for the South Park game, Fractured Butthole. And also, if you pre-order it, you get a copy of the Stick of Truth for free. So I might pre-order it just because I like the Stick of Truth. I got it in my library technically because I game share with Mark Shark, but I want my own copy. It'd be awesome. So really, that blew me away. And like I said, there was a lot of cool stuff. All these conventions. I just don't have time to go over it all. If you guys get a chance, look up. Go check out the Star Trek VR game. That was cool. I can't remember the name of the game. I think it was Prey. No, it wasn't Prey, but it was like you were flying around as eagles and collecting rabbits. And it wasn't like the best game in the world. I wouldn't spend all that money on VR for a game like that, but the game itself still looked cool. VR is really taking off. Also, while we're talking about VR, let's go ahead and move on to Bethesda. Now, they did say it's going to be a while before Elder Scrolls 6. They went ahead and they addressed the elephant in the room. They said, we know what you guys want to hear about. You want to hear about the new Elder Scrolls. Well, they are remastering Skyrim for the current gen systems. It's going to come with all the DLC and everything, just like a remaster would. They want to take their time with Elder Scrolls 6, and that makes sense. Bethesda's never been the company that rushes out games. Look at the difference in time we have between Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. Sure, Elder Scrolls Oblivion and Elder Scrolls Skyrim didn't have that much time between them, but it had enough time for it to be a great, vast improvement. So I want them to take their time with Elder Scrolls. They did such a great job with Skyrim. I don't want just the rehashed same old shit, though. I want a completely new experience, which is what I come to expect from Bethesda unless I'm playing Fallout, because then it's just a new location. But, we all love Fallout. So, that's pretty cool, but what really blew my mind away is they're making Fallout 4 fully VR capable. Now, it's nowhere near finished yet. In fact, I think they all had that was the stuff they showed was by Red Rocket, but it was cool because you'd raise up your arm to look at your Pip-Boy, you pull and shoot the gun and stuff. VR is taking off like a fucking rocket. I kind of want to go get an Oculus Rift now, even though I don't fucking have nowhere near enough money. But that was pretty cool. They did announce the final 3 Fallout 4 DLCs. Now, unfortunately, it didn't come with all the cool stuff we had talked about before, like driving around Rhode Island and working cars. They're not putting the working cars in there, which is a bit of a disappointment. But they do have 2 of the workshops. 2 of them are like workshop updates. It's the contraptions, which comes out next week. And that's going to be stuff like, track. It's going to have kits, sorting machines, conveyor belts, like a way to pretty much like a way to sort out your inventory and stuff. Like, so if you got a house full of like a bunch of different chests and stuff, you can set it up so what you want in one chest goes in that chest, and that's pretty cool. And the second one's gonna be a vault one, which I'm really excited for. I'll probably get this one, and that's gonna be that one's released in July. But pretty much you build your own underground vaults. You recruit people to live in it, just like your settlements, but you also get to experiment on them, like Vault Tech did. So imagine that. You can make your own super mutants, your own ghouls. Remember the plant monsters in Fallout New Vegas? What the fuck? How awesome would that be to make that? So I'm looking forward to that. And the last one was Nuka World, and that was some DLC that was like, okay, it looked pretty cool, because now you finally, if everyone's always played Fallout and been that dick who goes around taking people's shit, killing people for no reason, but it doesn't matter how bad you are in the game, how dirty you look, what you're wearing, the raiders always attacked you. Well, now you get an opportunity to actually become a raider in Nuka World, and it's a giant theme park with different themed areas and stuff like you would expect Disney World to be, but Fallout Universal, it's Nuka World, it's not Disney World, it's Nuka World. And you can join up with raiders and take over other settlements and stuff. Now I'm really hoping this does not just stick with Nuka World. Now because they're saying that Nuka World is going to be about the size of Far Harbor. So that would give you some time, some space to move around, play as a raider, yeah, but it'd be nice to really go and stick it up to Preston fucking's ass and all these fucking settlements he's bitching about. I'm the one fucking him up, Preston. I don't want to hear about it. Onward, shall we? So that was pretty cool. Now, the contraptions of Vault Tech Workshop, they're only $5. The Nuka World's only $19.99, slightly cheaper than Far Harbor. Of course, if you have the Season Pass, that means you get all 6 DLCs, which still, I mean, $50 for 6 DLCs. You're really saving some money. It's really fucking good. I like that deal. Microsoft had a couple cool things. They're making a new Xbox One Slim, which I kind of knew something like that would happen. I didn't have an Xbox One myself, but a lot of people said that the power cord, the power brick, was just ridiculously ugly. The system itself, though, when they make this new Xbox Slim, it's not going to have the power brick. They're completely getting rid of that, which is cool, because you figure, we've been making video games now for like 30-odd years and shit. We should be able to get rid of the power bricks by now. We shouldn't need that big-ass fucking brick of a fucking black ugly tumor sticking out of our wall or the back of our systems anymore. So that's cool, and it's going to have a vertical stand. Now, if you guys remember back when the Xbox 360 came out, everyone was like, oh, you can vertical it, but it would fuck up your disc, because it's pretty much like sticking your DVD player on the side. But the new Xbox One Slim is going to be made so it can be put up vertical. It's going to be safe on your disc, which is awesome, because I heard so many of my friends talk, man, I have my Xbox on, sitting on its side, and now all my games don't fucking work. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Do you work, what the fuck? And then, of course, they announced Project Scorpio, which is going to be a new system. It's supposed to be like the most powerful system ever. We knew there was a new system coming. AMD has dropped hints as they make the processors for these consoles and stuff. They dropped hints that there was a big order for processor, didn't tell anyone. So we know that PlayStation's talking about making upgradable systems. Xbox had dabbled in it, but I don't think they're going to go that far. I think they're going to go with this new powerful system. And I think personally, what I think they want to do with Project Scorpio is I think they're going to take and make a console that's not going to have to be updated for a long time. That would be like a very wise decision if you ask me, on Microsoft's part. Because if they can make a console that's going to be able to play anything for like the next 10, 15 years, almost similar to what they did with 360. I mean, look how long the 360 had to run. I don't know if the Xbox One would have that long of a run. But this Project Scorpio, I'm curious. I might get a console again, just if it turns out good. Other than that, there were some really cool games. Of course, once again, a lot of them had to do with PlayStation. Days Gone, like an open world survival game with zombies. I know there's like a bazillion of them, but this one looked good. This one looked like, it was like you had hordes of zombies. Like The Walking Dead always has that giant mass of zombies. This game had that. and it was like a wave of zombies coming at you, and which is pretty cool. I like that. It really heightens up the tension. You know, if you want to make something scary, there's nothing scarier than running away from thousands of enemies. There was the new Spider-Man game for PS4, which is being made by Insomniac Games, the people who made the Ratchet and Clank series, which is fucking awesome because all the Ratchet and Clank games they made were awesome. I don't care what anyone says. I love Ratchet and Clank. Now, I don't see Spider-Man running around with a bazillion different weapons and blowing people up, but I'm still kind of curious to see what they can do with this. I mean, you know, instead of maybe a bunch of weapons, maybe have a bunch of different combos you can unlock and shit. I don't know. I'm curious. I haven't played a good Spider-Man game. People have told me that the last Spider-Man game, the Spider-Man 2 game, was good. I never played it, just because of my negative experiences with Spider-Man. And while we're speaking of it, though, Resident Evil 7 was announced. Now, the gameplay trailer went along the way of PT and Allison Road, in the sense that you were in a house, a scary house, by yourself. And it looked great. It looked awesome. It looked like they were definitely... They've listened to the fans, and we don't want a first-person shooter. We want the survival horror game that they gave us originally. I mean, that was part of the fear of the first, 3 Resident Evils, was that you didn't have a lot of ammo. You didn't have a lot of guns. You had that limited inventory space, and you had to pick and choose what's going to be better for me. Should I take a handgun because I'm going to find the most ammo, or should I pump myself up to a shotgun or something just so I have some more power? So I'm cool. That'd be cool if they went back to that way, but I'm a little bit iffy because, the gameplay is, like I said, it's PT and Allison Road. It's not going to be in the it's the gameplay the trailer showed us is not going to be the game. So we could still end up with something that's just shit like Resident Evil 6. And I only played that for like fucking an hour before I turned it off. It wasn't Resident Evil. It was just some guy running around shooting zombies. So I've got high hopes for that. Now, there was also, sorry guys. Just woke up. I'm a little bit tired still. But, there's also Quake Champions, which that was pretty cool. We've had Wolfenstein remade now. We've had Quake remade now. Or Doom remade now. So it's cool to see Quake coming back. Quake was like, it's almost like the Overwatch for them. I mean, it's like, everyone who played Quake knows what that was like. That was like really my first time doing anything online with a bunch of other people was playing Quake. And of course I was a kid, so I sucked. I mean, but I give it a shot, Even though I'm not much of a multiplayer person, I give it a shot just because it's that classic nostalgia feeling. That's something you grew up with, You gotta give it a shot. It's like if your best friend came by after 20 years, you ain't seen him forever, but you're gonna hang out with him once just to see if he's still cool, But then there was also the new God of War. Like I said, guys, PlayStation really just brings up their A game when it comes to games, and fucking blew me away. I knew there was new God of War 4 coming out, and I thought it was gonna be a remake because they were talking about it's gonna be Norse mythology. I was like, well, how are they gonna put Kratos in that? They fucking put Kratos in it. Kratos is old as fuck now. He's got a kid. And he's not the hard ass he used to be. Like, you could see him, like, wanting to snap on his kid, but then stopping himself and calmly talking to him. He's like, you don't shoot till I tell you to. So, it's like, he's not like, that father who's going to take his kids out to ice cream for pitching a strike in the Little League game. But, he wants his son to grow up. He knows what kind of shit his son's gonna experience, so he's like preparing his son for it. You could see that, he's like, look, I've pissed off a lot of high up people. You need to be prepared because you're gonna have to live the same life. And Kratos looked, even though he looked old, he looked awesome, but it is gonna be like Norse mythology. It's not gonna be, the Roman and Greek stuff no more with like Medusas and stuff. I'm sure some of the classic enemies will make a return, but we're gonna see new gods that he's gonna have to fight, new monsters, which is cool. And it was like watching a God of War game, but not watching a God of War game. You could tell it was God of War. It played similar, but it was like new, which was awesome. And the last thing I want to talk about today, guys, and I know everybody's fucking talking about, but how the fuck can they not? Death Stranding. The new game by Hikomi, Japanese name. He was the guy behind PT, and we all know PT got canceled. That was supposed to have Norman Reedus in it, so I guess he's like, fine, if you guys aren't going to make PT, I'm going to go to Sony and see if they'll make a naked Norman Reedus and baby fetus game. Because that's pretty much what he did. The game the cinematic trailer starts out with Norman Reedus waking up. He's got handcuffs on. He's got little handprints all over his body. And there's a little black cord attached to him that's attached to a baby. He picks the baby up. He starts crying, but then the baby disappears and his hands get covered in oil. And that's when he stands up and he notices he's got a giant cross-like scar on his stomach, like something was removed. And then you look and you see that everything's dead. There's oil everywhere. The whales washed up on the beach. There's dead crabs, dead fish, dead birds. You know, we all know that Mr. Japanese name. I know that's not his real name, guys. I'm terrible with those Shigamiya Konnichiwa names. And that's not racist, that's just some American. We don't learn any other languages. We're ignorant. We're not racist, we're ignorant. But, you know, he's always been like big on what's going on in the world and what's going on in the environment and stuff. So it really looks like it's like one of those immersive horror games that's going to have a backstory and we're going to have to figure it out, and the moral is going to be, you know, we're fucking up the planet. And normally I turn away from shit like that, but fucking hey, Norman Reedus, Jesus Christ. Now, how mind you, half the fucking video we had to look at his ass, but Jesus Christ, it's Norman Reedus. That can't be too gay, can it? Anyway, guys, that's what I've noticed in D3 this past week. It's definitely my longest vlog so far, 16 minutes. But we did have a lot to talk about. I had 3 pages of shit I covered, and that wasn't even everything on all my 3 pages. So, guys, I really highly recommend going through and looking up, like, you know, new games coming out in E3. Go check out the South Park trailer. It's funny as fuck. Check out the God of War trailer. It just blew my mind. Let me know what you guys are excited most for about E3. You know, is there something coming out that you guys just can't wait to get your hand on? Let me know. Hit that like button if this is your first time here. Hit that subscribe button, because throughout the years we're gonna try to get these games. We're gonna put them on the channel because I'm a fucking gamer. You guys are gamers, and you guys like watching apparently, and I like giving you guys something to watch. This is Fixing Alloy 1. I'll see you guys next time.